In the late Jurassic, North America was a harsh and unforgiving land, particularly in the region that is now the western United States. Prolonged dry seasons devastated the environment, and only the mightiest dinosaurs could endure these brutal conditions. This was truly the land of giants, enormous sauropods and infamous predators such as Allosaurus, Torvosaurus, and Saurophaganax. Yet survival here was not determined by size alone. As the old saying goes, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Nowhere was this more fitting than with Ceratosaurus, the so-called hellhound of these badlands. Like many other late Jurassic dinosaurs, Ceratosaurus was discovered within the Morrison Formation, a vast sequence of Jurassic rock spanning 13 US states. In the year 1883, its fossils were excavated from the Garden Park site, and the find caused great excitement because the specimen was nearly complete. Just 1 year later, paleontologist Othniel Charles Marsh formally described and named it Ceratosaurus, meaning horned lizard, after the distinctive horn on its snout. At the time, it was the best-known carnivorous dinosaur in America, even though the initial reconstruction was inaccurate in both posture and proportions. Thanks to subsequent discoveries and decades of research, scientists today have a far clearer picture of the animal's appearance and behavior. Ceratosaurus was a medium-sized theropod, though its size varied by species. The type species, Ceratosaurus nasicornis, reached about 18 to 20 feet in length, while another form, Ceratosaurus dentisulcatus, grew even larger, with one specimen stretching nearly 23 feet long and weighing around 2,100 pounds. Some paleontologists argue that these differences represent growth stages rather than separate species, but the debate remains unresolved. Regardless of classification, Ceratosaurus was a formidable predator. It possessed an unusually large skull. The front was heavily built for delivering powerful bites, while the rear was lighter, enabling it to open its jaws extremely wide. Its mouth housed about 26 large blade-like teeth, finely serrated and ideal for tearing flesh from its prey. The skull also bore 2 small horns above the eyes, but the most striking feature was the prominent nasal horn, about 5 inches long. In life, this horn was covered by keratin, making its true size uncertain. Early paleontologists believed it was a primary weapon for combat, but most modern experts think it was used mainly for display, perhaps playing a role in mating rituals or intimidation. In terms of body plan, Ceratosaurus had powerful hind legs adapted for speed, while its forearms were relatively small and less developed than those of many other predators. Some studies suggest the arms retained limited grasping ability, possibly helping in prey capture, but the legs and jaws were its primary weapons. Its diet has long been a subject of debate. Early interpretations suggested it preyed on other dinosaurs, including juvenile sauropods and stegosaurus. Later evidence hinted it may have been partially semi-aquatic, hunting turtles and primitive crocodilians, since its fossils were often found near rivers and floodplains. Its deep, flexible tail resembled that of a crocodile, raising the possibility that Ceratosaurus was a capable swimmer. However, most paleontologists today believe that while it may have exploited aquatic resources, it remained primarily a terrestrial predator. A study published in 1998 revealed how Ceratosaurus coexisted with Allosaurus by dividing ecological niches. In regions where long-snouted Allosaurus dominated, Ceratosaurus fossils were scarce, suggesting competition over similar prey. But in areas where short-snouted Allosaurus were more common, Ceratosaurus thrived, likely due to dietary differences. Even so, during brutal dry seasons, dwindling resources forced predators into direct conflict. At the Cleveland Lloyd Quarry in Colorado, nearly 30% of dinosaur fossils bore theropod bite marks, YIT, a staggering figure compared to the usual 4%. Among the most frequently bitten were theropods themselves, pointing to cannibalism and desperate clashes, with Ceratosaurus as both hunter and victim. Yet the Morrison environment was not always grim. Seasonal rains transformed the plains into fertile landscapes teeming with life, making the region one of the richest dinosaur bone beds in North America. Towering sauropods such as Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Camarasaurus, and Diplodocus shared the land with herbivores like Camptosaurus and Dryosaurus, as well as the iconic Stegosaurus. Ceratosaurus reigned across this ecosystem for roughly 5 million years, from about 153 to 148 million years ago. But like so many others of its age, it eventually vanished. The exact cause remains uncertain, though prolonged droughts and harsh environmental cycles likely contributed to the downfall of this Jurassic predator, the so-called hellhound of its time. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like and subscribe for more.